Scalloped potatoes, also known as starch lasagna, are easily confused with galloped potatoes, which are potatoes that have been stomped on by a horse or a very fast cow.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck.
Okay, we're gonna start with the potatoes. I'm using russet potatoes because I'm not afraid of a little starch, but you can use cusset potatoes if you're not afraid of a little swearing. I also have these heirloom cusset potatoes, which taste like the bee's knees. You can peel them if you grew up in the Queen's Palace, or you can eat the potato crust even though it used to touch dirt, which is dirty, so make sure you wash them in the sink or take them through a car wash. Also, if you notice any parts that are slightly green, peel those off because that's poison, which is an ingredient I refuse to use when I cook. If you have strong walls and want to save time, you can also smash off the potato crust. I'm going to slice these up the old-fashioned way, with pride, but you can use a mandolin or a food processor if you have no shame. I just jam them in the baking dish to make sure it's the right amount. In this case, around 3 medium potatoes for my 9x9 dish, and it's around 3,750 potatoes for my 4x4 truck. Now measure the width, and any that aren't exactly 1/8 of an inch should be tossed. And if you're not into scalloped potatoes, you can also make scalped potatoes. And if you don't like surgery, you can go with falloped potatoes. Now we're gonna parboil these. The par stands for partly boiled, but not entirely, just a bit so that they're somewhat but not totally cooked through on account of how long you keep them in the water, which is not very long, just 3 minutes-ish, otherwise they will end up totally boiled, which is not the point. Also make sure you shuffle them before putting them in the water so they don't taste predictable. Now we'll par strain these, which means to partly strain just the water on the outside of the potatoes, but not the water on the inside of the potatoes, otherwise they'll turn into root dust. What time is it?
It's sauce time!
That's right. We're gonna start with 3 tablespoons of butter and let that melt on medium, then add in 2 chopped garlic cloves until they're nice and warm, then 5 tablespoons of all-purpose wheat dust, and slowly wang jangle it until it's smooth. You're gonna cook the flour taste out of the flour, otherwise this could end up tasting like flour. Apparently you do this for 6 minutes or so and it should smell nutty, but since the nut smell is masked by the garlic, we'll just stir this until it smells like garlic nuts. Now we'll add 2 cups or 500 milliliters of milk. Add it slowly and keep wang jangling to smoothify it. Now it's flavor time. Remember the number 0 gets its shape from the potato because they have 0 flavor. There are many approaches, but I'm going to add garlic a couple minutes ago, 1 veggie bouillon cube, 2 teaspoons of mustard dust, some pepper, and a ½ teaspoon of salt. You can flavor it however you want. I'm flavoring it in a way that's the best, but if you prefer something other than the best, that's a personal choice. Now that that's getting thick, I'm gonna add in a handful of cheddar and take it off the heat, giving it one final wang jangling. Now we'll put some sauce in a big bowl, then the potatoes, and then more sauce. Then I'll just slowly turn those over until they're covered. I like doing this as opposed to layering. Who has the time? Honestly, lots of people do. Then I'm gonna spray a layer of chemicals, then we'll dump in this pile of stuff. And then I'm gonna top this with some Gruyere cheese. Oh, who grew up in the Queen's Palace now? Then I'm gonna slap on a tin roof. Then I'm gonna send the potatoes on a tropical vacation in hell for 45 minutes. Once that 45 minutes has been wasted on the internet, take it out, remove the tin roof, then pop it back in for 15 more minutes. If this were Binging with Babish, I'd be showing you how to create your own soil in which you'd grow the potatoes, then how to build a kiln in which you'd form your own baking dish. Then we'd cultivate some fresh oxygen via phytoplankton photosynthesis so you'd have something fresh to breathe. But this isn't Babish, so this is what you get. You get potatoes. And now that 15 minutes is up, take it out and admire the primordial grease aquarium. This is where scallops mate. Now we'll let these cool and set for 10 minutes or so. And then we'll serve them on a plate, because it's a good thing to eat off of.